All right, how's it going, guys? How's it going, everybody? I'm Zac Andrew,
I'm Andrew Hall.
and this is yet another episode of the Storyworks podcast.
It's not just any episode, it's our 10th episode.
Number 10. All right.
Double digit.
Congratulations to us. Thank you all for listening.
Congratulations
if you're still
to
here.
all of you.
If you're tuning in for the first time, thank you very much. Please keep doing it.
It's
Davis immediately came out with liquor.
10 episodes, dude.
You gotta celebrate.
I'm here with it.
Yeah, just keep talking. I'll pour it.
Gotcha. All right, so today we're going to be joined by a very special guest. Nobody, because
It's
nobody
just us,
likes us.
actually.
It's just us. There's no guest. It's just us.
We lied. The guest is liquor.
Our guest is liquor today. Davis brought him along. So we're doing something a little bit different today. We're not just going to look at a couple movies, kind of like how we've been doing.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a trope, a story. Trope. That's the word. I was like trying to think of a word, but no, that's the word.
Yeah, no, it's or like a genre almost. of sorts.
Yeah. Let's do this.
Stand
shot
by
real
for a
quick.
shot.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers. The clink, 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 clink.
Red, white, and berry.
Ooh, we did it.
That's episode 10, movie.
Episode 10.
Cheers, mates.
You gotta make something cool and shit.
Gotta put in the clinks. Yeah.
Clink.
But yeah, so we're talking revenge stories.
Huge trope in cinema. One of the most effective and kind of easiest to pursue.
Everybody can get behind a good revenge flick.
Absolutely. I mean, that's something that's always going to push a story forward no matter what.
You can always empathize and connect with somebody who is trying to get revenge on something that's happened to them.
Exactly. We watched The Northman earlier this year.
Mhm.
And
Talk about The Revenant.
exactly. So that's it's just gotten us in the mood. It's just gotten us in the mood.
We
for it.
figured, why not compile a list?
Yeah. So this isn't we're not trying to list the best revenge stories ever. We're just picking our personal favorites.
Just our top fives.
So if you have something to say,
Say it in the comments, actually. Say it.
Don't listen to me, Andrew's right. Say it in the comments. I wanted to pick some of the titles that we like, not just movies, games, comics, anything's fair game. Just kind of recent revenge tales or ones that have always kind of stuck with us. So, to start off,
Do you have any honorable mentions? Anything that didn't quite make your list, but
let's see.
But you thought about it?
Honorable mentions. The first one that kind of comes to my mind, which is one of the biggest kind of like revenge series that's happened recently, though I've only seen the first one, John Wick.
Yeah, that was that's in my honorable mentions as well.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. John Wick is just a crazy fun movie. It like I never gave it a second watch through, though I thought it would be fun.
They play it on like cable TV all the time.
Oh yeah, dude. It's definitely a staple.
It's so good.
I feel like
Keanu
it probably
is just a legend.
Oh yeah. I'm sure like it even just got better past the first one,
Yeah.
but
John Wick
just kinda
John
where
Wick
I
2 is
landed.
really, really good.
You saw 2?
Yeah, I saw John Wick
Nice.
2. I haven't seen Parabellum yet though.
They bring in the horses and shit. That one
Yeah.
seems pretty cool.
And we're making a fourth one.
Yeah, dude. What I like about the John Wick series is that it's the director is a stuntman by trade. Like
Yeah.
he started as a stuntman.
I mean, the director is the guy who's going to be directing the Ghost of Tsushima movie.
right? Oh my god, I'm so fucking excited for that shit, man.
Very, very, very cool news.
Fucking Jin going John Wick.
He just pulls out a
so
gat.
sick. Let's go. Chad Stileski. That's his name. That's the director.
Oh yeah. Okay.
super cool, man, and you can tell he's a stunt man. Like it's literally just stunt man the movie. You know what I mean?
Like seriously, like
And that's not a bad thing.
I think it's John Wick 2. There's a scene where he's like, it's like the beginning of the movie, and he's assaulting this like taxi depot kind of that's like a gang hideout.
Yeah.
And he literally is fighting these dudes and gets hit by like 3 taxis in quick succession.
Oh my fucking
And it's like
god.
he gets hit by a taxi, dudes get out, and he beats the shit out of them. And then once they're all beat up, he gets hit by another taxi. And then dudes get out of the car, and then he beats the shit out of them. And then he gets hit by another taxi, and they get out of the car, and he beats the shit out of them. It's just
oh my
insane.
fucking god. All right, I'm going home to watch John Wick 2. That's fucking dope, dude.
It's
I really
legendary.
loved that like William Dafoe was in the first one.
Yeah.
That was just something that was like a pleasant surprise.
You love to see it, absolutely.
What did you have another one? How many did you have? I got a couple more.
One that didn't quite make it on my list, but I thought about it for a while, was Demon Slayer.
Yo, that's
Shout out to the anime/manga Demon Slayer.
yeah, dude. That's actually a really, really good. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, he's got one goal.
Literally in the first episode, his whole life is upended by these demons.
What's his last name? Tanjiro
Tanjiro Kamado.
Yep.
And
In a world where demons exist and kind
yeah,
of
they're
live.
like they live forever. They can't go out in the sun, and
Mhm.
they like kill people. He goes out, leaves his family like in their house overnight while he goes to like the city to make some money. And when he comes back, his entire family has been like brutally slaughtered.
That scene is devastating, man. It's like horrific.
Dude.
It's still in my brain.
The way that they just show like his young siblings just like lying there lifeless,
It's fucked, man.
It's
It's
heavy.
that's a first episode for you.
Yeah.
Like,
And then his sister is turned into one of these demons.
Yep.
And then the goal is just, I'm going to find the guy who did this and kill him and save my sister.
yeah.
It's very simple but very powerful.
And he's just it's just crazy. He's just a town's kid, you know.
yeah.
They were like farmers.
Yeah,
or whatever.
literally he lived like on top of a mountain and he would sell like charcoal.
Yeah, that's what it is. And you get this training. He goes through this grueling training process that's
Mhm.
really interesting, but also it's paced really quickly.
Yeah.
You get into shit fast with this show. So, holy shit, Demon Slayer's a great show. Yeah, I didn't even consider
Just a
that.
nice little honorable mention. Didn't quite make my list. But
Right. Definitely check that out if you haven't, dude. Even if you're like not super into anime or anything yet, Demon Slayer is probably a really good intro.
Very, very
to
good.
anime.
Very, very, like the visuals are super dope.
Oh, beautiful art style.
The way
Very
they do,
different.
like they stylize the breathing techniques are just so awesome.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. How the water is drawn and all that.
Yes.
Super cool, man. Great characters. One that I have on here is really like it's a fucking. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's devastating. It's the Last House on the Left.
I have not seen that.
It's an honorable mention. I think it's like a really effective revenge movie, but
Okay.
it's like for me, I can't do like rape. Like I can't.
Yeah.
Even though that's a big thing for like revenge movies, a lot of
Mhm.
earlier revenge movies that are centered around that.
It's really heavy, man.
It's very hard to watch. It's very
Yeah.
difficult. Makes me want to punch 30 fucking holes in my wall
Yeah.
as soon as it happens. Like
Yeah.
I've always hated that, but it is extremely effective for you see that and you're like that guy needs to fucking
we
die.
have to stop him.
Yeah. Great movie. So the premise is like a teenage girl or a young female woman kind of gets caught up by these guys. She gets raped and almost killed, but her parents find her
Okay.
and take her in, and I think she then dies at the house.
Oof.
And then, like, these strangers come knocking at the door at the Last House of the Left, and it's the parents' house, and the people who were knocking at the door were the killers.
Oh.
And they figure it out. So it kind of becomes a horror story for the killers at the beginning.
Yeah. Okay.
Which that's why it's really crazy. It's really effective in that way.
That's
But
really
also,
interesting.
oh my god, it's so hard to watch.
No, absolutely.
Crazy movie though. You got
Okay.
anything else? I got 2 more.
Those
There's just
were
a lot of
really
them.
like the 2 that I had thought about the most were John Wick and Demon Slayer in
Yeah.
terms of like revenge stuff.
For sure. I've got The Crow on here.
Yeah, see, I haven't seen The Crow.
The Crow, really good. I've only seen it once, but fucking Brandon Lee.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace. Great movie, super fun, super 90s. He plays like an electric guitar on the rooftop in the
That's
rain
awesome.
for a scene.
That's
He's literally the spirit of vengeance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It feels like a comic book. Like, I don't know if The Crow was a comic book series or something at some time,
But it has that vibe.
it's got that vibe, like super hard.
Okay.
So really cool one. And then my last honorable mention is Inglourious Bastards.
Ooh,
It like really, 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 really almost went on my list.
yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Quentin Tarantino.
I mean, we love
Quentin
Tarantino.
We love him. We love to hate on his feet.
It happens. Look, man. You
But we
like
love
what you
him.
like, I guess.
Okay, Quentin. Inglourious Bastards is a crazy movie.
That movie is insane.
I think that's like Reservoir Dogs hit me super hard, and then Inglourious Bastards blew me away.
Yeah.
Crazy revenge tale, but it's also like 8 other stories wrapped into
It's
one.
true. It's true.
But at its core is that revenge story between
Yeah.
Colonel Hans Lander and pretty much the entire German
Yeah.
military versus Shoshana
Yes.
from the beginning. So, dude, if you haven't seen Inglourious Bastards, obviously,
Oh my god.
fucking
What a
killer flick.
movie.
Have you seen it like once? I know we watched it
I
together.
think I've seen it like once.
Oh my
Au
God.
revoir.
Au revoir, Shoshana. Super good, dude. Okay, let's hop into our actual list.
The list.
Like we said, this is kind of like, for me, this is just stuff that recently has
It's like
caught.
your current
Yeah,
kind of.
obviously things shift, but this is, I felt like this is really solid. There's some titles in here I really want to talk about.
I'm sure we'll probably at least have a couple that are the same or something like that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I'm going to let you go first. What's your number 5?
My number 5
Yeah.
is a video game.
Okay.
It is the God of War franchise. Or, like, I guess, like God of War 1, you could say.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Which is, you know, a pretty old game at this
Yeah.
point in time.
But, we have the resurgence through
Yes.
God of War.
You know, I recently replayed through God of War 2018.
Yeah.
What a game! Play it if you haven't, and if you own a PS4 or a PS5, play this fucking game, please.
So you're playing it on the PS5 now? Since
Yeah, I
you got-
replayed it on
Oh,
the PS5.
dude.
It looked really, really good. But yeah, I mean, the first game is like, I mean, the whole series is kind of like a story of revenge, but
Yeah.
like especially the first,
It
like
feels
the
like it sparks.
Yeah,
that.
the first one especially, because it's like Kratos is this Greek warrior who, you know, ended up fighting under Ares, like he worshipped them, and
Yeah.
he ended up losing a battle, and it was he was about to lose it, and he called out to Ares and said, you know, Ares, if you aid me in this moment, I will become your champion.
Yep.
And Ares came down, helped him win the fight, and then bound
You're mine now, bitch.
these bladed weapon, like these not like swords or whatever, daggers, whatever you want to call them.
Mm-hmm. I love the design of
Chained
those.
them to his arms so they can't come off, because like to show a symbol of his like servitude.
Yep.
Makes him, you know, campaign in Ares' name across like Greece until one day he raids a village and is killing everybody in it. And he
Yep.
goes to set the temple on fire, and he goes in and he kicks the door to the temple in and just like blindly starts killing everybody inside.
Yep.
And then it's revealed that his family was in there. His family was transported by Ares into this temple so that he would lose like like his last tether to like
To being like a person.
yeah,
Like,
and so he could fully become Ares' champion,
Ares, he wants this dude to be just a machine.
literally.
Because Kratos is a fucking machine.
He wants to remove all like doubts of loyalty from him.
Yeah.
but instead he ends up like making Kratos turn on him through this action.
Isn't the red like the blood? Is that the blood of his family?
So the red, it's revealed in like one of the spin-off games that they made. Like I think it's like Ascension or Blades of Olympus or something.
Yeah, I played those bitches on the PSP, baby.
It introduces Kratos' brother that he had that died when they were kids. He got killed by Zeus, I believe.
It's always the gods. Man.
Because Zeus had a prophecy that he was going to be killed by his marked son. Because, it turns out that Zeus is Kratos' dad.
Yeah.
But back in the day, when they were kids, Kratos didn't have that mark on his body.
Gotcha.
His brother, though, had that as a birthmark.
Really?
And so Zeus came down, saw that, and was like, that's the guy who's supposed to be killing me in a few years.
You're fucking nicked, mate.
You're going to the underworld forever.
Just sent him?
Yeah. And Kratos ended up adopting that as, like...
That's really cool.
A symbol of his brother.
Okay.
And then his, like, white skin is the ashes of his family.
That's what it was. I was like, I know something is a semblance of his family.
He's forced to carry that. Yeah, he's forced to carry his family with him forever as like a symbol of what he did. But then at that moment, he decides, no longer am I Ares champion. I'm going to fucking kill him.
That's so cool, dude. Like, come on.
And he teams up with Athena and Poseidon and Zeus. And
yep. They're like, oh shit, man. Yeah, we don't like
they're
Ares.
Like
either,
Ares is getting too power hungry, and it's time for him to go. And
you want to be a god? Kill his ass.
And you take and yeah, you end up killing him, and you become the new god of war. And then, from there it shifts into revenge against the gods as a whole, because the whole premise of the game is like Kratos. He agrees to go after Ares because he wants to kill Ares, but he also does it on the condition that the gods remove from his memory the event of him killing his family.
Yeah.
And
I forgot about that, man.
And when he kills Ares, he asks Athena, like, I held up my end of the bargain. What about you? And they were like, well, we never actually said that we'd cure your memories. We said that we'd forgive you.
Yeah.
So. And then Kratos is like, what?
Yeah,
and
what?
And then proceeds to go on a rampage against the rest of the gods.
It's fair, dude. They kind of sucked.
Yeah, no, but, the Greek gods all suck.
Those games are like the first one is a really good staple as the beginning of that revenge tale. And then, those games just
it scales so insanely. Like in God of War 2, you get like the Titans involved.
Yeah.
And then in God of War 3, you're killing the Titans.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You just don't
fuck with Kratos, man.
You just don't.
Don't
even look at him twice.
No. And then in God of War 2018, he's like finally kind of mellowed out from being this like bloodthirsty like maniac death machine.
Yeah, that's like the story of God of War 2018. I mean, what was that up against for Game of the Year?
I can't even remember what else came out in 2018.
Yeah, it was just like I feel like that's what I really was rooting for.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky?
No Man's Sky?
On release.
Oh, no.
But yeah, so that's my number 5.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a really, really good choice. For my number 5, I picked a game that came out this year, one that I've talked to you a lot about. I went with Sifu.
Ooh, yes.
Super, super fun game. It's not even like a full-priced game.
Yeah, it was like what, $20 or something like that?
Yeah. It's almost like a similarly in the vein of like Hades, where you do runs and
it's kind of roguelike-ish.
Right. You do your run, you build your tree for that run. You can permanently unlock certain perks. It's all about like in-depth martial arts.
Love that.
Super counter parry, fucking, and it's like it's don't get hit the game.
Yes.
It's really interesting.
Teaches you to get good.
Yeah, for sure. Just to give a little description, Sifu is an action beat-em-up video game developed and published by French studio Slowclap. Set in modern-day China, players control the child of a martial arts school's Sifu, who seeks revenge on those responsible for their father's death. So, like, really, really simple.
Classic.
It's just classic, yeah. You know,
You had me play through the first chapter, like the prologue, and you literally play as the main antagonist.
Yeah.
As you kill the Sifu, and then like the player that, like, the character that you play as for the rest of the game, like, is watching the whole thing unfold.
Yep. From under the table, and then he gets killed. And it's revealed that your player has this talisman that is a concept in the game that every time you die in the game, you age up. You have a death counter that will go up, and then you age that many years, in which your health will start to go down, but your like a physical attack will go up. So it's like you're growing in your kung fu, but you're like
your body is getting
declining.
frailer. Yeah.
So that concept really fucking stood out to me.
That's really cool.
I just fucking love martial arts, dude.
Oh, dude.
Like, nothing's cooler than...
Oh, my God. When you pick up a bow staff in that game...
Oh, my God. You feel so powerful, dude. It's so good. So, yeah, it's like the whole... The squad...
It's like 5 people?
Yeah. It's a squad of 5 that raids your Sifu's and your father's... Dojo, yeah. And it kind of you kind of meet them briefly. That's your targets. That's it. Once the game starts, you start out as 21 years old.
You've spent your entire life just like literally just training to get to this moment.
Yep, exactly. You get a detective board, so you slowly start to kind of learn what's going on as your playthroughs continue. And I just like that. I like the story kind of unfolding in that way.
It's almost like your character is like doing investigative work as well as like just fighting.
Exactly. The characters are really cool. The boss fights are so sick, dude.
I would watch you do some of those boss fights and just like they like transition you into like a dreamscape almost.
Exactly. Like you have 2-phase fights, which I fuck with. I like that.
We love a good 2-phase fight.
Yeah, they make you work for it, man. The second phase is always some kind of dreamscape where you're kind of it's like it's go time. You're kind of transported into their...
They've shifted into... they're like, you're in my game now.
Yeah. They've shifted. They're jacking in.
Yes.
So fucking cool, man. And what I like about it is the replayability as well, because once you beat it full all the way through the first time, there's another option that you can take for a complete second run through, and it's different. Your goal is different.
Yeah.
So at first you can choose to kill them and get your vengeance. Then you can do a run where you spare them for a different ending.
The non-revenge route.
Which is so cool because like
it's like New Game Plus, but
it's like New Game Plus, but like new content.
Yeah.
You get new cutscenes, you get new reactions. Because as you're going, this is a one-night thing, like chronologically in the story.
Yeah, you're literally just going
one night and one day.
Yeah.
It's
our 10th episode.
Shot.
Okay.
Shot break. Shot break.
Well, thank you, Chief. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cling.
Andrew started watching Breaking Bad.
Oh yeah, I started watching Breaking Bad.
Oh, so you're in that. Tight.
tight.
Now back to your
All right, so we were I really enjoy how it takes place over the course of one night and one day. There's just something about that. It just because it feels so fast, but it isn't at the same time.
Yeah.
As you kind of progress and like you're kind of taking your targets out for the first time, when you're choosing to kill them, because you don't have the option yet in your first playthrough. He is like, you can tell by like the third time he's not happy.
Yeah.
He's not getting that.
He's not getting the
what you
fulfillment that he thought he would get.
Exactly. It's like, this is really
he's just
getting
empty.
me nowhere, but I guess I'm going to keep fucking doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They still deserve to die even if it doesn't give me any like satisfaction.
Yeah, and it's just really interesting to see that, and then you get to see how he progresses when you're saving them, and it's really cool.
It's a really good dynamic.
Exactly, it's a beautiful experience. Please play through Sifu. Really fun if you're into quick button mapping, intricate fighting games.
Yeah.
It's just a goddamn blast. I can't sum it up better than
Very,
that.
very cool game.
That's my number 5 for the revenge trope and also for just being a really unique game.
Yeah.
So,
It's a very cool. It was a very I remember seeing videos of it before it came out.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this game is really, really cool for being an indie
Exactly.
kind of small
$40.
scale. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably on sale now too, so swipe that shit up.
Hell yeah.
All right, man. So that's my number 5. What do you got for 4?
Number 4 is a movie that we've already talked about before. And it's kind of the archetypal revenge story.
Gotcha.
Tale as old as time, The Northman.
All right.
The Legend of Amleth.
Yes.
The origin of Macbeth.
Is that something that really drew you to it as
Yeah,
well? Just because it's such tale as old as time, baby.
Literally, it's like that's so cool to me that this legend, bastardized in a way by Shakespeare. He
yes,
Anglicanized it.
Oh yeah,
but still very, very cool. And to have it be brought to that scale, everybody knows about Macbeth.
Yeah, exactly.
You could walk up to just anybody in the world and be like, "Hey, you know William Shakespeare? Yeah. You know Macbeth?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I at least know the name."
Or if they don't, you're like, Lion King.
Literally, yeah, exactly. And just and exactly it's it started out as the Legend of Amleth, and then it became Macbeth, and then it became the Lion King.
Yep.
It's
and who knows how many times it's been. I'm sure there's a lot of films out there too.
Exactly,
that
it's
use
just
that Macbeth formula.
That it's the most bare bones, I guess, kind of revenge tale that you can have, in the sense of here's your plot, here's what's going on, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Amleth having his father killed in front of him and his kingdom taken from him.
Right after the return of the big trip, his dad gets back.
Yeah.
He has that ceremony with him. They have that animalistic bonding experience.
Dude, yeah.
And that
They're
death
howling.
right after that. Yeah.
As he's just he's still in his childlike innocence of trying to catch snowflakes on his tongue.
Yeah, dude. Yep.
And then he spends the next 25 years as a soulless berserker Viking.
I found it very interesting that he wasn't set. See, a lot of these characters are my whole existence now is to kill this fucker. And he's like that when he's rowing away, repeating his lines.
Yeah.
But it's just very interesting that he lost his way as he became this mindless berserker.
Yeah, it kind of just became survival in a sense. But then he gets reminded of it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I have to get vengeance."
And then Bjork pops up and's like,
"Hey,
what's up, motherfucker?
What up, bitch? Remember when you were a kid?"
Throws his frozen teardrop at him.
Here's the last tear you ever cried.
Cry about it, bitch.
Now cry about it some more and go kill your fucking uncle.
Dude.
And he's like, "All right."
You should have been Bjork's character. Now cry about it and go kill your fucking uncle. He's like, all right then.
He's like, "Okay, I'll take Anya Taylor-Joy and go kill my uncle."
Dude, now I just need to see a version where you're actually Amleth as well, dude. You got the hair, bro.
It's my one-man Northman show. I'm every character.
Dude, you got the fucking hair for it. Let's get you a fucking pelt to put on. Get you a howling.
Oh my god.
You are both him and his mother in that scene. That's so fucking funny.
God.
Yeah, dude. No, super, really great.
It's
movie.
The most classic revenge tale there could be.
Exactly, and that's what's so interesting about it, and it's done in a really fun way. You know?
And to speak on the Northman itself.
Yeah.
Just we've talked about it before, but the cinematography in it is so good. The story is really great. I love that he's told that he's gonna get this ancient sword that
was so cool.
Can only be opened at night and is fueled with the blood of the people who've wronged him.
That's stuff I never expected going into that
No,
movie.
not at all. Like, I was expecting it to, like, when you see Anya Taylor-Joy and she's shown to be, like, doing, like, her witchcraft stuff, I was just like, she's not doing any magic. She's just, like,
Right.
an herbalist or something like that.
Yeah.
But then they're like, here's your vision from Bjork about how you're going to get this sword that's enchanted to only open at night and kill all your enemies, and you're fated to fight him and at the gates,
The gates
of hell.
dude.
And
So fucking cool.
neither of you will die until that moment, and it's just insane. And then he decides, you know what? Instead of just killing him now, I'm gonna abide by the prophecy and just fuck his life up as much as I can.
See, that's what I really fucking like, because there's this whole sneaky section of the film, which might be its like second act, probably.
Yeah, when he's
where
on the compound.
Yeah, where he's just causing trouble, dude. Because like I remember when he rolls up the first time and his uncle's like fucking face to face to him.
Yeah.
I was waiting for him to pop off.
Mm-hmm.
So
You're just waiting for action to kick off right there and there.
Yeah.
But he's like, no, I'm doing the long game.
I loved that. Really great choice. So yeah, that was
Yeah,
great.
I mean, that's my number 4 pick. I really like that. I really liked The Northman. It was my movie of the year until I saw Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my number 4.
So I used to move. I was like really struggling with my number 4, because I was thinking about doing The Revenant.
Yeah.
Which I did. It
Yeah.
was between that.
Yeah.
I had a couple other things in mind. I didn't want to talk about it too much again because we just talked about it, but just like, come on, man, The Revenant. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So The Revenant is your number 4?
That's going to be my number 4, and it's
If you
just,
haven't seen it, wait for next week.
Yeah.
Listen to last week's.
yeah, no,
Exactly.
for real. If you want a little,
Yeah, if you want to hear us talk about how much we loved The Revenant.
that's last week's episode, baby. Scroll down a little bit. But if you haven't, I'm going to talk about it just a little
Just
bit.
a little tiny bit to talk about how good of a revenge story it is.
Exactly. Again, with The Northman, shot amazingly. We talked about it. I fucking really dig that you're in that moment kind of cinematography, that over the shoulder, you're here.
Yeah.
That's super effective. The characters were so great in that movie. Tom Hardy's performance still really has me on something
Dude, yeah,
because he's
Fitzgerald
a great
is
villain.
insane.
Yeah, he's a
Fitzgerald
great
is
villain. And the recovery process after the bear
like,
attack.
that is
and
insane.
it's-
That's insane.
Exactly. I mean, so much of the movie is just him trying to survive so he can get that revenge at the
Yes.
end.
Yes. His well-deserved revenge.
Well deserved. I mean, it's just like, it's grotesque how much he had to go
Dude,
through
it's
to
insane.
get to that
It's
point.
insane.
Sleeping in a fucking, was it a horse?
I
Or
think it was his horse.
sleeping in a horse carcass for a night when he couldn't walk, when he's crawling on the fucking snow-covered ground,
God.
freezing streams. Like, I just can't imagine, dude.
No, like,
And to be
literally, I could
Fitzgerald-
not do it.
To be Fitzgerald and to know that this guy is alive and coming
Oh
for
my
your ass.
God. Like, that'd be terrifying.
Fitzgerald was like
This man
shitting
died.
10 pounds in his drawers, dude.
Like, you left this man who got mauled by a bear half buried in the ground, and you're like, there's no way that this dude is gonna get out.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Shout out to Get Out.
But yeah, like, like, if you're in Fitzgerald's shoes after you do that to Leonardo DiCaprio, you're like, he's dead. He's gone.
Exactly. You thought wrong, buckaroo.
Sorry, I'm actually like a ghost.
Literally, dude. So I thought, Revenant's just a great movie. We don't got to go into it since we
Yeah.
just talked about it, but that's my number 4. I mean, it just doesn't get better than
It's a really good movie, and
Like-
it might be somewhere on my list.
wink, wink, nudge, nudge, eyebrows. Is it your number 3, perhaps?
It is not my number 3.
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is another video game.
Let's go.
This one came out like 2 years ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Was a very it was very hyped up. Everybody was very excited for it, and then when it came out, everybody kind of it was a very divisive game.
Yes.
My number 3 pick is The Last of Us Part 2.
Woo,
I'm a
baby.
big fan. I did not play.
I am.
Oh,
I'm-
Davis, you haven't.
You haven't played 2?
Yeah, you got to get out of here, bro.
Run away.
It's good, dude.
Yeah, I was one of the people who was blown away by this game. I absolutely loved it. I know that there are people out there who did not like this game. I understand that you do not like this game. But I do.
It's as simple as it gets.
And
yeah.
this is my list.
Let people like their games. It's my number 1, actually.
Ooh!
Since we're talking about it, The Last of Us
Yeah.
Part 2 is my number 1. So let's maybe save that for last and super dive into it.
Yeah, we can do that for
Um,
sure.
What is your number 2?
My number 2 is The Northman. Or sorry, did I say The Northman?
I was like,
I meant The Revenant. The Revenant.
there it is.
Number 2 is The Revenant.
Okay.
And we talked about that. I just like that story is just
Yeah, give me your thoughts on it.
insane.
Yeah.
Like when I watched that and you see him get mauled by this bear, and you just are, it's literally like a 6-minute scene or something like that.
6 to 9 minutes long. It's like they
You're-
want you to feel that shit.
You're just watching him fight this bear, and it leaves him alone like 3 times, and you're
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe he gets away now. No, bear comes back and like walks on him,
Dude, yeah, after he's already got all those wounds and it's just standing on
stands
top
on
of
his head, and fucking yeah. And then you're just like, there's like, you're dead. I'm dead. If that was me, I'm
I'm
dead.
dead.
If that was me, I'm dead. Like there's
Yeah.
no way I'm
it.
surviving.
You don't think
that.
you could make it out?
No.
Come on, man.
Just give it.
I'm no, literally I would honestly just give up and die.
Well, if I was there, Andrew, I would have a sling on my back and I'd be carrying you through the snow.
I appreciate you.
I wouldn't let Fitzgerald get you.
Thank you.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not Fitzgerald. I would not ask you to blink if you want me to kill you. Okay.
You're half done.
Yeah.
Come on,
Oh,
Andrew.
man.
Just blink.
Me and you have an understanding. No, you'd be my captain.
Oh yeah, no, I got you.
But just yeah, like you said, the healing process, just you can see it. Leonardo DiCaprio did such a good job telling so much with just like his eyes,
Dude,
or just like the way he like tenses muscles in his face.
for sure. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of dialogue in that movie.
No,
man. He
I
really
mean-
doesn't.
Like, I mean, when he's watching as Fitzgerald kills Hawk,
Yeah.
you can just see the rage. I mean, he's like frothing at the mouth,
Yeah.
so mad, but he just can't do anything.
His eyes are like beat fucking red.
Mm-hmm. He's just trying so hard, desperately, but he can't do anything.
And as we always say, being out in that environment brought so much more to that performance as well.
Definitely. Like being there, living in it, yeah.
Yeah.
It just makes it feel that much more real. You connect that much more.
Right.
Yeah, that
Was the
story
end
is just-
satisfying for you as
I
a
think
revenge?
so.
Yeah.
I think so. I liked that he kind of got his just desserts, in the sense that, like how you brought up in the last episode we did, go check it out.
Listen.
How he's, he was partially scalped. He survived like a scalping attempt.
Right.
And then at the end of the movie, he gets
Mm-hmm.
scalped by the people who's been chasing them the entire movie.
Yep.
He gets his just desserts. That's like the best way that he could go.
Kick into the river, float right down to the Ree.
Yes.
Yep.
Um,
Because he was just really a slimy bastard. I mean, he didn't have any redeeming
no,
qualities.
not at all. Not a single one. Which made him such a good villain to hate. And
For sure.
and like seriously, hats off to Tom Hardy for playing that dude and making me hate him so much.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I mean, when you play those characters, you're probably like, man, I feel like a piece of shit
Yeah,
right now, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my number 2.
Awesome, man. Yeah. We'll go back to my number 3 then. My number 3 is let me get the date right here.
Uh-oh.
1970s. We're going back.
Oh, man.
Yeah. I revisited this movie over the past week. Oh, man.
Probably haven't seen it then.
Yeah. Carrie, 1976.
No, I haven't seen
Stephen
Carrie.
King's Carrie.
I have not seen Stephen King's Carrie.
Holy shit, dude. Wow. I know you.
Is it a revenge?
You know,
That's a revenge movie. Isn't that the one about
yeah, it
the dude who gets like taken? Well, I guess that would be considered revenge then. He's trying
which
to,
one are you talking about?
Is it the one where he's like cared for by
It's
a?
the one where the girl gets the blood dumped
Yeah, you're thinking of
Oh.
Misery.
Yes. Okay.
Which
yeah,
Misery
yeah,
is
yeah,
a crazy fucking movie, dude.
See, I got him mixed up.
Misery's fucked. I know you know Stephen King,
Yeah.
his work before. Have you ever heard of Carrie or anything?
I've heard of it. I just don't know a whole lot about it.
So
So when you give this plot synopsis, I'm going to be listening.
oh my god, dude, it's crazy. So, what's the best way? It's fucking high school horror is what it is.
Okay.
It's centered around Carrie White.
Okay.
She is in high school. I'm not sure what grade. You know what? I think she's a senior in high school.
Okay.
Because it's all centered around senior proms coming up.
Gotcha.
Um,
That'll do it.
That'll do it. Heavily bullied girl. She's got a psycho religious mother.
Yeah.
Psychotic.
Yikes.
And I'm not saying anything about religion in
You
general.
can believe what you want, but it's like she's
This is
religious,
like
but
two-
she's
This
also
is like
psychotic.
the Binding of Isaac's mother.
Okay.
Almost.
Okay.
Not as fucked up as that, but
yeah, where you're like,
that's
where
kind
she's
of a
like,
good
she's
similarity.
like, yeah, where she's like, and jump in real quick in the Binding of Isaac.
yeah,
main
yeah, he's got
character's
the lore
mother
for that shit.
Is she watches Christian broadcasts on the television and begins to think that she's hearing the voice of God tell her to kill her son.
Yep. Yeah. So it's that kind of crazy bad shit. So what happens is the film actually opens up with Carrie getting her like first period.
Okay.
And it's late, but it happens in the girls' locker room, and she, her mother never told her about it because she's a
So
fucking
she freaks
psycho.
out.
She thinks she's dying, dude.
Oh.
And she's like running up to girls like with her hands red, and she's like, "Help me!" She's like screaming, "Help me!" And that is the start. And all these girls start like throwing tampons at her,
Oh my god.
screaming, "Plug it up! Plug it up!"
Jesus.
Davis would be throwing them at her, bro.
No,
This is funny.
Davis absolutely would be
comes in
throwing
here laughing,
tampons.
bro.
That's what I just walked into. What are you talking about?
You're right. All right, that's
Davis is
interesting
out
to
here
walk
throwing
into.
tampons.
Throwing that shit.
That's what they call him, tampon tosser.
Tampon
Jesus
tosser.
Christ, man.
God.
So it's nuts, man. And what brings you to the mother character is that when she gets home, she's telling her, like, the school calls her mom and tells her what happens.
Yeah.
And you can tell that she's fucking scared of her mom already.
Yeah.
Some shit
God.
like that, dude. She gets home or whatever. She's upstairs in her room, and her mom gets the call from the school. So she comes down, and Carrie's like, "Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you tell me about that? I thought I was dying."
Yeah.
And her mom has like a fucking Bible scripture in her hand, and she starts smacking her in the fucking face with it,
Oh my god.
reciting like lines from the Bible about like saying you don't get the blood unless you are a sinner or full
Oh
of
my
sin.
god.
It's
Number 10. All right.
shot time.
Clink, clink, clink.
Right
Water.
then.
God's chaser.
God's chaser water. So yeah, she's saying like this wouldn't have come if you didn't have impure thoughts or this and that. Smacking her in the face. I mean, this is abuse.
Yeah.
And then she locks her in a fucking prayer room.
This is literally like the Binding of Isaac.
Right? See, that's something that I think can connect with you. Yeah. She gets locked in this closet, and there's a fucking real off-putting statue of Jesus on the cross. And her mom's just like, "Pray, Carrie White. Pray for your sins."
Oh my god.
Dude, it's wild. So, the girl who started the plug it up shit in the beginning is like preppy girl, don't fuck with me, or I'm gonna fuck with you.
Yeah.
That's where the scheming comes to start fucking with Carrie's life, and then bullying kind of progresses. Oh yeah, something I might add that's important for this: Carrie White is a telepath.
Oh, she can read minds?
No, she can move things.
Oh,
she can't read minds.
She's a telekinetic.
She's a telekinetic. That's what it is. and you start to like see signs of this
She starts
showing up
moving things.
throughout the movie, and she doesn't know what's happening to herself, so she starts to do her own research or whatever. But
And before prediction, the mom thinks she's possessed by a devil.
oh, of course. Oh, you already know, dude. You already know. Yep. How much of this do you want me to talk about? Because I
mean, go off, King.
It's so good, dude.
I mean, you're drawing me in. You're drawing me in.
That's it. It's so good.
It's so good. End of story.
I'm gonna say spoiler alert for Carrie. It came out in the 70s, so
It's
fucking,
been a while.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't watch the remake or do it. I mean,
Is there a remake?
There's a remake.
When it came out,
I can't remember.
but it wasn't
I
good.
think it might have been 2013 or somewhere in that era. Chloe, what's the girl's name? Young actress. Chloe.
I know who you're talking about.
She's in Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Mortez. That's what I was thinking.
Moretz. Sorry.
Oh.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Moretz. Okay. She is in the Carrie remake.
Okay.
We're never getting her.
I'm sorry.
You know, I might revisit it. It's just been a long time since I've revisited it, and I don't know, the classic just holds.
I mean, yeah,
it just hits.
The
in a
first,
way.
yeah, the original was so
Yeah.
insane,
Right.
that it's like a remake could never possibly reach the heights of this.
Exactly, and not I find kind of dated movies, like period movies. At this point, they are period movies. Like,
Oh yeah,
to be in the 70s and stuff, that's more interesting for me than a modern rendition.
yeah,
of
where
a
they're like,
movie.
oh, it's Carrie, but it's in the.
But they're
year
all texting her
2015,
and
yeah.
like fucking.
She's just getting cyberbullied
Like,
on
I've
Facebook.
already been bullied in high school in my time. What was it like in the 70s?
Let me see the 70s where people were just beating the shit out of each other.
So yeah, no, it gets crazy, man. She starts to discover these the telekinetic powers. She kind of has control over her mother because she can just sit her ass down whenever she feels like it, which you love to see it.
The power dynamic.
Yeah, she's like, stay home and pray with mama tonight. She's like, nope.
We love a good power dynamic shift.
Yep. So, one character who felt bad for Carrie gets her boyfriend to ask Carrie to the prom to
Aw.
show her a good night.
That's nice.
Exactly. So, dude's kind of a dick when you first see him, but he kind of comes around towards the end of it.
Yeah, at first it kind of is like, oh, I'm just doing this for my girlfriend or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
On the other hand, you have popular dumb bitch who's making her own plans with her dickhead boyfriend, who is John Travolta.
Nice.
in probably his one of his smaller roles. He was just a
At
dumb
the prom
idiot.
dance, like
Yeah.
you can't see, but I'm doing the Pulp Fiction dance.
Yeah. They end up making their plan to spill the pig's blood on her, right?
Nice.
Yeah,
I've heard about.
you
the
know
pig's
that
blood.
part, yeah. But it's the build up that makes it so difficult because this guy invites her to the prom. He's actually showing her a nice time.
She's actually having like a decent time for the first time.
Yeah, exactly. She's she's having talks with her gym teacher who's been helping her throughout the movie about like she's just enjoying herself.
Yeah, it's
in
like
school.
it's like the first time in a long time.
Everything's going right. Exactly.
And it's like you're just waiting for the other ball to drop.
Yes, dude. They get
That
nominated
tension
as prom king and queen,
Oh.
and she goes up there, and yeah, the tension is crazy when they pull the fucking rope down on her. Dude, it's just go time.
Yeah.
You're watching that whole movie to this point, and it's like a high school drama. That's like it's a heavy drama still.
Yeah.
But then it just pops off.
Let's go.
Everybody dies in that gymnasium.
We are now
The people
mass
that were
murderers.
nice, the people that were mean, the people that helped her, the people that aided in the bullying, they're dead.
We
and there's
are
like,
mass murderers now.
yeah. Dude, when you see the look in her eyes as she's scanning the room covered in
Ooh.
blood, and people are just flying in the walls, things are crashing and just impaling people.
Yeah.
And it's really cool how they do this segment. He's dividing the frame into segments to like
Okay.
you feel the chaos because you're seeing like everything's
you're
happening at
trying
once.
to see everything that's going on. Yeah. Okay.
She burns that whole bitch, dude. She
Ooh.
walks out of the high school covered in blood, flames rising behind her. Just to top it off at the end, I kind of wish there was more
Yeah.
to this part. The bitch that dumped the blood on her, and John Travolta like ditched. They got out of there. But
I'm
then
so
they're
mad.
driving towards her as she's walking down the street at
They're
top
just gonna run
speed.
her over?
They're gonna run her over. That's what he thinks. I'm like, what are you
Okay.
guys doing? Why didn't you fuck
Do you
off?
not realize that she could just go like
And she did.
she
does.
she just flips it?
Flips that bitch over. Yeah. Oh, they're
God.
dead.
Good.
Really
Press
crazy.
S
I'm
to
not gonna
spit on
say
grave.
the end of the movie because I
Fair,
want you to
fair,
watch it and
fair.
see what happens because it's very
I
interesting.
was gonna say, I mean, you definitely have me like you've piqued my interest.
I'll watch it again, bro. It's only it's like a half an hour long.
First, you had
Hour
my
and a half, might be.
attention, but now you have my interest.
Yeah, dude. Let's watch that shit. I'm down. Then let's watch the remake. Maybe it's not
Yeah.
as bad as I remember.
Yeah, let's
but-
do it.
So that's my number 3.
What was your number
really
2?
liked Carrie. My number 2, and this is why Inglourious Bastards didn't go on my list because I'm not trying to riddle my list with Quentin Tarantino.
It's just all his movies in order.
It's just all of his movies. in order.
Literally.
My number 2 is Django Unchained.
Put Django on the list. Oh my god, I thought about making it an honorable mention, but I was
Yeah.
like, am I gonna do it? I don't know.
Django.
Oh my dude, the intro song is so good.
Yeah.
Django Unchained was my first Tarantino movie. and
Yeah.
I have just a special connection with
You've got that connection with it.
Django.
We want to talk about a Leo revenge movie. Let's put him in
I mean,
the
I literally
opposite role.
I just did the whole first you had my attention,
Yeah.
but now you have my interest. You will?
You will? Thank you for the fucking 300 millimeter zoom in.
Dude, that movie is just so good.
From
like,
start to end, dude.
like it's
And
like
it's long.
yeah. Oh my god.
But
Sorry,
it
go
holds
ahead.
up.
Yeah.
No, it's not like shut the fuck up, Andrew. It's my turn to talk. Dude.
That movie is so good. I love
Pop off.
the revenge aspects of it, but I also just love how funny it is.
It is, really.
I think it's Tarantino's funniest movie.
Really. I think that and Inglourious Bastards can go toe to toe with their.
Yeah.
It's just like like very fucked up things are happening,
Oh,
but
definitely.
there's also comedy.
Mm-hmm.
You might be right though, just because of the sack scene.
Dude.
The sack scene.
I can't see fucking shit out of this thing.
Now my wife stayed up
Look,
all night.
now nobody is saying that the sacks were a bad idea.
Like they pause. It's like I'm pretty sure it
They're
pauses from
literally
a rating scene.
I was gonna say, yeah, they're about to like go ride and like attack.
Yeah, and then it cuts.
And they're like, wait a minute, hold on, you can't go yet. I can't see fucking shit out of this thing.
And Jonah Hill is just there.
Dude, he's
In one
so
scene.
good.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh,
I was
and then
so
and then they
happy.
all ride up. I love that. Like they're like so stupid.
Oh yeah, they're fucking dumb as
Like
shit.
it's so perfect that they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna put white supremacist like KKK members in this movie, but they're
Yeah.
gonna be fucking dumbasses.
Exactly.
And then they all
Which rings true, doesn't it?
No, literally. fuck the KKK. We don't want KKK listeners on this podcast.
Eat
So,
a million consecutive dicks.
but yeah, and then they all ride up on the fucking dentist wagon and die.
Dude, yeah, straight up.
Ooh,
Take the shot.
cinema.
Yeah, dude, that whole story is just a trip, man. And I mean, all the different locations.
Like that's the thing. I loved how varied it was.
in the time span. There's a long time before he even gets to go and to find his wife.
he gets freed, and he
doesn't even
like,
know she's alive
No.
at first. Yeah.
he just learns about like the first half of the movie. I'd say
Yeah.
is just him like learning, like him getting free, learning how to be like a free person, and like learning how to be a bounty hunter.
Yes, exactly. But there's still so many revenge elements.
Well, yeah, because he
in
goes.
there.
I mean, like I think it's like the first, or like one of the first jobs that they do together is
Yeah.
going after one of the dudes that sold him,
Exactly.
like one of his former
slave.
slave owners who like
Is it-
ran away and or like it's the three
brothers.
brothers, the three brothers,
Yeah.
and they've like ran away and become like they've changed their names and become like stable hands at the one ranch.
Yep.
And you get like the flashback of them whipping Django, and they're like, You bleed good, boy.
Yeah, yeah, and it shows his face, gives me the Kill Bill vibes. The
Dude, yeah. And then when he finds him and he gets he shoots the whip out of his hand and
Yeah.
then just looks at him and goes, "You die good, boy."
yeah, dude. The shot from one of the brothers all over the poppy, like what is it, the cotton?
Yeah.
Dude, just the red. Oh, that was fucking beautiful.
That's like a
And
brilliant trademark of Tarantino films. Is just like how gory they get.
now that movie, dude. I mean, one shot in that movie towards the end when you're at the house shootout,
Dude, oh my
it's
god.
like blurb, like fucking like they got a bucket of blood for each shot.
I couldn't resist.
It's kind of crazy, and I'm here for it,
Dude,
800%.
yes.
Even when it goes back to the first scene, we have like revenge planted in this movie with
Mhm.
Christopher Waltz.
Yeah.
When he frees
all the slaves and he's just like, I freed you all now. I can't stop you from doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and he's got the one dude trapped under a horse, just sitting
Dude,
there.
yes, how he
And
like
they-
shoots the horse.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And they all just start crowding around that guy. I'm like, you get what you fucking deserve.
We hate slavers. We hate slavers.
Oh my god, such a good movie, dude. And once he gets on that revenge tale and starts moving forward, once Leo's character is introduced.
I love Django's blue outfit.
Yeah, dude. When he's at the yeah, bro. He's like, I get to wear this shit. Hell yeah.
And then when you meet Monsieur Candy.
Yeah. Yep. He plays such a great villain, dude.
Dude, we just have to talk about the glass shattering scene.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Talk about like immersing yourself in the moment.
Yeah, dude.
When you literally break an actual glass in your hand and
Right.
smear your own actual blood on somebody's face.
He just used that to fuel that performance, and he acts like a psycho too, dude. It's perfect.
No, like literally, he embodies that essence of like being a psychopath.
Oh my god, yeah. And when he's just rubbing it on her face, that is a real scream because she did not know what the fuck was going on.
Dude, if you cut your hand and just started rubbing it on my face, I'd scream.
Quentin Tarantino had to have like come 3 times consecutively.
He had to.
Like,
I wonder how. Like they had to have given her more money for that.
straight up, dude. Like that was amazing.
I would definitely be like, look, okay, I get that this was the perfect shot.
Yeah.
But like, you got actual human blood on me. Give me an extra like $50,000.
How do you feel about Christopher Waltz's character getting the kill on Candy?
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
It does kind of suck that Django doesn't get to do it,
Right.
but Django kind of gets the aftermath gunfight with Samuel L. Jackson,
Which is amazing.
oh my god,
I like the story derails for a second.
Yeah.
He gets captured, and I was like, "What?
you're like, wait a
This
second,
isn't
hold
what
on.
happens in Quentin Tarantino movies."
Hold on, and then Christoph Waltz shows up. He's like, I'll get him back, and then he's just like, he goes to shake the hand.
That's when he kills him.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
when he kills him.
He's just the
And that's
gun
what gets
pops
him.
out.
Mm-hmm. That's when Jamie Foxx's character gets taken, and like he's like hanging upside down for a while.
Yeah.
They like sell him off, and then he gets to kill Quentin Tarantino because he puts
Yeah.
himself in the movie.
I love that Quentin Tarantino puts himself in his own movies just to die.
Right, dude. Yeah,
like he's
Mr. Brown.
I was gonna say, he's in Reservoir Dogs, and he just dies.
He's the first motherfucker to go on that
He
shit.
literally is just there.
I ask myself to this day how he dies. I'm like, did he hit his head on that steering wheel and just fucking die?
I was gonna say, I don't know if he got like shot and
Right.
then like crashes and hits and dies or whatever. But
Anyways, your name was Mr. Brown for
Mr.
a reason.
Brown, he probably shit his pants when he died.
He probably took a big shit. Anyways, Django, fucking
Yes.
amazing. The shot when he like is walking out of the house at the end and he gets his
Ooh.
girl, fucking great. Man.
His wife's name is Broomhilda.
Broomhilda. Holy shit, I forgot about
It's
that.
legend. She's like because like Christoph Waltz tells Django about like the German legend of Broomhilda, and he's like,
Yes.
oh wait, he's like, oh really? That's my wife's name.
I forgot about that shit. That's crazy, man. Yeah. So
Oh.
my number 2 is Django.
That's a really good number 2.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
It's piss time.
He's got to pee.
Then we'll talk about your number 1. Wait, did you already say your number?
I didn't.
We'll do number 1, and then we'll do
The Last of Us. Yeah. It's piss time. We're taking a little bit of a piss break.
This says piss time.
I said he's got to do like elevator music. And we're back from the piss break.
Done taking a piss. And the whole time, I was just itching.
That's not good.
That's You should probably go to the doctor.
No. Besides that, I was itching to know what your number 1 was.
My number 1. It's we were just talking about Quentin Tarantino.
Mr. Bambino.
And, my number 1 is a Tarantino film.
What do we got? I'm curious.
I have only just recently seen it.
Oh, that's what your number 1 is. Okay.
But it's probably like the most recognizable Tarantino film, I think.
Okay.
It's definitely it's Kill Bill, specifically Volume 2.
You said specifically Volume 2?
Yeah.
That's interesting. We can talk about Kill Bill as a whole too, but I find it really fascinating that you like 2.
I just picked 2.
I mean, they're
or
both
Volume
amazing.
2 as like my number 1 because like that movie is the movie that you get to see like the wedding scene. You get
I
to,
really enjoy that.
you know what I mean?
yeah.
You get to see why Uma Thurman is trying to get her revenge on these people. Like obviously like you see it in the first movie, you get to see her get shot in the head,
Right.
which is like that right there is motivation enough to
That
be
black
like
and white scene too, dude.
well,
Oof.
you get the motivation of she gets shot in the head and she says the baby's yours, and
Yes.
then
Murphy.
we got a little bit of a
Murphy
dog
likes
interruption.
Kill Bill, bro.
I know. He loves
He's gonna talk about it. He's like, "You talking about my girl Uma?"
Dog interruptions.
Mira's busted in. Mira.
Come on, Mira.
All right, back to
But yeah, like in Kill Bill Volume 1, you get at the beginning just that scene of her on the ground when she says the baby's yours, and she gets shot in the head,
Dude, right after.
and then she
yeah.
wakes up and doesn't have the baby.
Yep.
So right there is 2 really, really, really good motivators for the revenge flick
Oh, yeah.
aspect of it. But in Kill Bill 2, you get to see that full scene extended, and you get to really know about like what led up to her being on the ground, why she really wants to get revenge on him,
Right.
why she really wants to kill Bill.
The scene, the first scene in Volume 2, where she's driving in the car and she's like, "I'm gonna
kill Bill." Dude, yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's cheesy, but he had to hit
No,
it right
like
there.
that's the thing. I don't know. Some people like hate cheesy stuff, but if cheesy stuff is done well, man,
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Oh, for sure. Like he executed that perfectly.
Um,
He made it simple. He's like, you want
Yes.
to know what this movie is? It's fucking Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Like Kill Bill. That's it.
and also, I mean, and Kill Bill Volume 2 is like the culmination of her vengeance.
Exactly.
Like Kill Bill Volume 1, like don't get me wrong, man. The Crazy Eight, the Crazy Eights fight scene.
I will watch it any day of the week at any time. Like
it's insane. The fight scene between her and Lucy Liu,
so good, man.
incredible. The fight scene in the beginning between her and the first assassin that she kills.
Yeah.
When like they're fighting in like the house and then her daughter comes in.
Yeah, man.
That's incredible. But she doesn't get to succeed. Like she doesn't completely fulfill her,
You don't
her vengeance.
feel-
You don't feel like completely satisfied.
How did you feel at the end of Kill Bill
I mean,
1?
no, absolutely. I'm like, let's keep. At the end of Kill Bill 1, I was like,
Okay.
okay, who's next? Let's go.
Can
Like,
you imagine if you were in the theater and you didn't know there was going to be a Kill Bill Volume 2?
Oh my god.
You'd be like, motherfucker, when the credits come up.
But yeah, so I think for like those reasons, and like for her actually getting her vengeance on him
Yeah.
in Kill Bill 2, I think that is what kind of pushed it ahead for me.
Yeah. And it's the first one seems like he wanted to focus on like he made it a very like we're doing fucking samurai shit, dude.
Yes,
like
yes.
we're doing samurai
Like it takes
shit,
like
bro.
aside from like the beginning of the movie where
Yeah.
she kills the chick and she gets out of the hospital, they don't like the whole movie takes place in Japan.
Right.
And then he got the budget for 2. He's like, fuck.
He's like, oh wait, no, we're back in
fuck.
America actually.
She gets her goddamn Hanzo sword made, and then it's
The Hattori Hanzo
go
sword.
time, dude.
That scene, that whole sword.
Oh yeah, dude.
He's like, it'll take me a month to make this sword.
So fucking cool, man. And then she wields it with a fucking bloody fury.
He breaks his blood oath to make it.
I know, it's so good.
It's dope. It's dope.
All I had to do was drop your name.
Literally.
Bill's like, how'd you get that motherfucker? Make you another sword.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I love the first one, but it's way more. It's like I think there's more action in it, even though that
I
two
agree.
still has a lot.
I think two has a lot of action, but like you said, like in Kill Bill 2,
More
a lot of the
explanation.
scenes are more like mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like scenes that are action filled kind of like are self contained. Like they're not
Right.
like, Kill Bill 1 has like they fight in a big house.
Yeah.
They fight
Mm-hmm.
they fight in that like nightclub, like the Japanese nightclub.
Right.
And then they fight in like that outdoor
Dude, yes.
winter zone. Which
I
want to
say there's a fight in Sifu that like mimics that
Yeah.
winter feel that
I think you showed it to
loved.
me. That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that shit.
But like in Kill Bill 2, like one of the big action scenes is her fighting the one-eyed chick.
Yes.
And that fight takes place in a trailer.
And it's so cool too.
Like
though.
like it's so no, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
and I don't mean to like take away from it when I say that. It's just like really cool how they're able to make that fight have so much depth in such a confined space.
Exactly.
Like that's a thing you get. I guess that's kind of how I feel about Kill Bill 2. It feels more confined, condensed almost.
Yeah.
Like one of the big things that you get is her when she's buried alive and she's having to
Love it.
break her way out.
Yeah.
And
They're like, we're gonna show you why she's such a badass. Finally.
exactly, yeah. And I mean that is like a big moment of the movie, and it's literally just in this tiny coffin.
Yeah, dude. It's so like
It makes you
my
feel
breathing
claustrophobic.
started
Like they
to get
even
heavy.
like they
Yeah.
do they change like the aspect ratio too, don't they?
I can't remember. I don't know if I noticed that.
I know they changed the aspect ratio at some point in
Yeah.
Kill Bill.
Yeah.
I noticed that. Fucking HBO does that shit.
Dude, they do it to make you feel more confined and
Yeah.
claustrophobic, man.
So you're like, something's
Mhm.
different here.
Got
All
you.
of a sudden, they like broke the fourth wall.
Yeah.
And they rose. Like you've seen it rise rather than just like some crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
If I like broke the wall and you see the.
That's
I was
dope.
Like,
That's
oh,
dope.
Shit, that makes so much sense. I was like, I swear, fuck.
That's wild, man. Holy shit.
But yeah, so like she does that, I mean, she doesn't even get to kill Bill's brother.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
But his death scene is still so
yeah.
cool, dude.
Dude, I absolutely loved that he told Bill that he sold his Hanzo sword for
Yeah.
$500, and
Yep.
then he still had it.
It's like he just wanted to like shit on him for a second. Yeah. That's funny.
And then she gets revenge on Bill,
Right.
and she gets her daughter.
I loved your face when we were watching Kill Bill 2, and I saw, like, as you saw her daughter,
Oh,
that's such a crazy moment because she fucking pops up and
dude, she is so ready to kill Bill.
Dude, yeah.
And then her daughter just runs up, and you're just like, oh.
And then you get, like, kind of an extended sequence with all of them, and it's
Mhm.
really
It
interesting.
almost it kind of feels like almost like she's being held hostage at this point.
Almost.
Like
it's definitely a
when
play.
when I watched it, I definitely interpreted it as Bill using the kid as a human shield.
Right.
Almost.
It's almost not entirely. It's not entirely the case though.
Yeah, no, like
Which is
it,
crazy.
but like you also get that feeling of like Bill really does view this as like a family.
Yeah, no, for sure, dude.
It's just
Like in his
insane.
fucked up, tormented mind, that's
like he knows that
he's
fucked up
he's
a
like,
while
"Man,
ago.
Yeah, I shot mommy in the head.
He's like I really messed up. I killed mommy, but she didn't die.
The whole goldfish scenario, dude. You don't know how much you love something
Until it's gone. Oh my god.
That shit is crazy.
And then the 5-point palm exploding death technique.
after he's just like he's taught you
He's
that shit,
Pai
bro?"
Mei taught you that, and she's just like, of course he did.
Yeah. day one.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. So fucking good.
Please let Tarantino's last film be Kill Bill 3, where the daughter from the first chick she kills Uma Thurman, and then
I
Uma
can't watch
Thurman's
that,
daughter has to fight back.
I do not want to watch Uma Thurman get killed after all that shit she did
Yeah, I think we should leave it alone.
to kill Bill.
Bill actually didn't die. So
Yeah.
it's better.
Oh, Bill actually didn't die. He's like, I faked it. You did it wrong.
You did it
my
wrong.
decoy.
And now it's from Bill's perspective now.
I love that you get 5 steps to walk away.
Dude,
and then you're done.
but
That's
but,
super
like he
cool.
sits there and he talks to her for a while, and then he
Yeah.
finally he's like, all right, it's
How
time.
do I look? Oh, it's so good, dude. It's like some classic Western.
And yeah, that's the thing. Like they have that final conversation, and like she kind of lets go of some of the hate that she had. I
Yeah.
feel like almost, or it's just the way that their kind of rapport that they had between each other kind of just allows them to have that
moment.
moment of like, yeah, like you said, like, how do I look?
Yeah. It's like
And she's just like, you look good.
no, I don't think any other revenge story that I've seen plays out that way, to where it's like not just like this bloodthirsty.
Where it's not just like
They're
I
having
killed you.
conversations like
Mhm.
this, and it's really interesting. So fantastic number 1 pick.
Yeah, I think I had to have that be my number one.
So we got one more thing to talk about. We got a long episode today.
It's
I
a
don't
little bit
give
longer, but
a single shit. But
it's time.
yeah, your number 3,
My number
my
3,
number 1,
his number 1.
The Last of Us Part 2.
Incredible.
Spoiler warning.
As you said, lots of people didn't like this
Very
game.
divisive.
Lots of people didn't
Very
like this game.
divisive.
But is the reason you didn't like this game because Joel died, though?
Like, is that it? Is it
Is
just?
that the joke?
Is that the joke?
Is that the joke?
But yeah, is like because I feel like
What was
that's-
the other next logical step that The Last of Us Part 2 could have taken?
exactly
That was not the demise of Joel.
like because like you already knew at like when you beat Last of Us 1, you're like, okay, if they do a sequel, you're gonna be playing as Ellie
Right. Exactly. You get...
because you know that time's gonna pass, and
Yeah.
Ellie is already like 16.
Just to back it up a little bit. If you played The Last of Us Part 1 and you're going into the second one, there's just like Joel... Should we just start with a synopsis and then kind of backtrack a little bit? Just because it's like
Yeah, I think that'd probably be good.
the synopsis for the second one. Go ahead, just give it a quick.
So yeah, I mean, Last of Us Part 2, it takes place like 5 years after the first game. Ellie and Joel are living their lives at Joel's brother's compound.
Yeah.
They've lived there for the past 5 years. Joel is essentially this girl's dad. They've bonded over the course of the first game. But at the start of this game, they kind of seem like they've distanced.
Yeah. No, you definitely.
There's
feel that.
definitely like a wall that has been put up between the two of them. And as the game progresses, you find Joel finds some survivors out in the winter wilderness
Exactly.
being attacked by some of the walkers. Or, in the world of The Last of Us, there's zombies, kind of.
Yeah.
They're like, it's a parasite that exists in the real world.
Which is terrifying.
It's called cordyceps. It's like a mushroom fungus that grows in like ants
Yeah.
and like kills the ants and then controls the bodies.
Yep.
But in the games, that fungus has like jumped to humanity. And Ellie is like the only person who's immune to it.
Yeah.
And Joel is out with his brother, and they find a couple people that are just being attacked by these infected. And Joel goes to save them, and they all end up in this like house hiding away from the
Some kind of like cottage. Yeah.
yeah,
like a
they're
gated
just like they're all
cottage.
just kind of chilling out, waiting for like the horde to pass. And
Davis, do you mind if we're talking mad Part 2 spoilers?
and they talk for a little bit. They kind of introduce each other to themselves, and then Joel's just like, "I'm Joel, and this is my brother Tommy." And they just like every member of the group that they just saved kind of like shares a look with each
Yeah.
other, and then they like beat the shit out of Tommy and knock him out, and like shoot both of Joel's legs out with a shotgun.
Dude, it happens so fast. Like I think that the first thing that they do is shoot his leg out.
And yeah, they're like, Joel is just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, what the fuck?
You're very like, what the fuck?
And then Joel gets his head crushed in with a golf club, and Ellie has to watch it.
And you feel every hit in your heart.
It's so painful to watch. It hurts a lot, and it makes you hate Abby, the girl who did it.
Makes you hate all of them.
Yeah. So then, from there, the game takes the logical revenge standpoint of Ellie is going to kill every single one of these people.
And Tommy's right there with her, man.
Tommy's ready to go, but he's like fucked up.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he got like the shit beat out of him.
Yeah, bad.
He's like, I would go if I could, but like you look at him, his head is like, he's like all bandaged up. Like I think his eye is like
I
closed
thought he was
up.
gonna die too, man.
No,
I thought he
same.
was done.
Same. And so Ellie and her girlfriend go out.
And that's what kicks The Last of Us Part 2 off.
And that's like when the game kind of truly begins.
It is revenge time.
They leave on their journey. Yeah, it's yeah.
But this game is probably one of the deepest dives into the revenge trope that I've seen.
Absolutely.
That's what's so good about
absolutely.
it. And that's what people deny to see about it. I see comments like revenge bad. Because people will articulate on the story of this
like,
game.
Yes, like you're.
And then the comeback is, oh, a great story, yeah, revenge bad.
Like, yes, it is.
It is bad, and this game's going to show you every facet of what goes in.
Like, and
to this,
like you see it through Ellie. Like she, is beyond traumatized by this.
Yeah,
she keeps seeing Joel's smashed in head.
Right.
All the time. She like picks up a guitar for the first time and she can't even play it.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because she goes to play like a song that Joel showed her.
Yeah.
And
it's a song he wrote for her.
She just can't play it at first.
It's fucking sad.
But at least she has her girlfriend there with her.
Right.
Dinah, I think her name was.
Yeah.
Or Dina.
I think it might be Dina or Diana.
But yeah, she's with her and she kind of tethers her and helps her kind of vent out that stress. Tries to be there for her as much as she can.
Right.
And then another character arrives in the form of Jesse.
Yep. What a good guy.
Who is another one of Ellie's friends who ended up coming. He followed them after they left.
Yep.
Just a really, really like
king shit.
Absolute like bro.
Yeah.
Like he's like your ride or die dude.
Yeah.
So it's the three of you going out against the world essentially. And
you're
literally in unknown territory. You find out that like these people are part of like a whole ass like society.
In the city of San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You run into like other people as well, like the cultist people that like.
There's a whole another group dynamic with that.
They like live off of like pain or something like that. They like shave their heads and everything.
There's
just so much in this game.
There's like, I would almost argue there's like several climaxes in this game.
No,
dude.
for sure. Like, and like the beauty of The Last of Us 2 is that it's like several different revenge tales culminating into one game.
For real.
Like, because you eventually learn, because you end up playing as Abby.
Yeah.
You get like a whole extended segment, and I think that's why a lot of people didn't like the game.
Which I understand.
I can understand
I was so mad when they were making me play as
her. Dude, no,
because they also show you more things that she does.
Dude, she does a whole lot of bad shit. Because eventually Ellie catches up to her, and Abby kills Jesse.
That's like our first climax, I feel like.
Yeah.
Jesse gets capped. Tommy gets capped.
Yeah. He
Um,
doesn't die, but he gets like shot in the head.
Yeah.
That's
the second time in the game I was like, Tommy's gone.
and yeah, and
then it cuts, and then you're
well,
Abby.
you get the boss fight. That changes.
That's
so
they
yeah,
saved
it
that.
gives you that, and then it cuts, and then you play as Abby throughout the whole, like it does like a time skip back, and you play through like the 3 days that Ellie traveled as Abby.
Yeah, before we get to that culmination, that first climax, Ellie, we see like she's killing Abby's friends, right? We see this happening.
Yes.
And then you play that from Abby's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
This is how the layers start unfolding with the revenge tale in this game.
It gets so
any
crazy,
revenge tale.
Because you find out when you're with Ellie, you find out that her girlfriend is pregnant
From Jesse.
From Jesse, because
they were a couple.
After they broke up and Ellie got with her, she found out she was pregnant.
And it's like, should we still be doing this? Should we go home?
We have to take care of Dina now.
Yeah.
And then you go back as Abby and you find out that she has one of the members on her team who's pregnant.
Yep.
And Ellie kills her.
And then Ellie's
and
living with that.
It really fucks with her.
Right. Because Dina's pregnant. It's the same thing. That really does something to Ellie.
Yeah, I think so. And then you get all the Abby game time.
Yeah.
Where
we get more of the cultists and stuff with
you
that.
You meet the young kid who tags along with her. I can't remember the kid's name.
Me neither.
Which is unfortunate. But
she really starts to bond with him.
Yeah. And you get to see it from Abby's perspective after killing Joel, where she feels empty.
Exactly.
You
fulfilling.
find out that Abby, in the first game, there was a group called the Fireflies.
Yes.
That Joel was basically taking Ellie to them in order for them to find a cure for this virus.
Right.
But it turns out that they would have to kill Ellie to do it. So Joel, at the climax of the first game, kills everybody in this hospital in order to save
everyone.
And like the doctors, everybody. And he lies to Ellie about it.
Yep.
Tells her that they had a bunch of other people that they could try.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Abby was one of these Fireflies.
Yeah.
Who survived.
Yeah, she was the daughter of the doctor, the head doctor that was going to do the surgery.
Yep. And
so she was already living with the image of Joel capping that dude.
Mm-hmm.
And then she plants the revenge into
It's
Ellie.
literally just like The Last of Us Part 2 is just such like a good dialogue, I guess, on the cycle of violence.
That's what I love about it, man.
Or the cycle of revenge.
Yeah. And violence. I mean, it's all wrapped into one.
And yeah, because you begin to start to kind of, at least you can understand where Abby's coming from.
For sure, dude.
And
by the end of it, man, she's got a solid relationship with this kid.
Exactly.
And she builds it up.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like I fucking hated her the first time I had to play as her.
Exactly.
Like I was like mad.
And
I didn't touch the game for a couple days.
But by the end of it, you're like,
you understand.
You understand her, and you're not necessarily like, you don't want her to die.
Kind of, yeah. I was like, you were living this out with these two characters to the point where at the end of it, you feel just like they do.
Yeah.
Or you don't. That's why a lot of people are pissed off.
Yeah,
I did.
Like Abby, she kills Joel, and she feels kind of empty for it, and she kind of continues to feel empty about it until she meets the cultist kid.
Yeah.
And then she decides, I need to start taking care of this kid because they need me.
Yeah.
And she kind of becomes better for it. And
she nurtures a relationship with him, and that kind of
it helps
nurtures herself.
I was gonna say it helps heal her, and it helps heal the kid.
Right.
Whereas Ellie, throughout the entire game, is just falling deeper and deeper. It's such a beautiful dynamic of you play as Ellie and you watch her start to fall down this revenge hole.
Yeah.
And then you play as Abby and you see her kind of come out of the the climax of revenge.
For sure, man.
And then you play as Abby all the way through it. You play as Abby at watching as Ellie kills your friends.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you chase her down.
And then we get back to that climax.
That climax, you kill Jesse.
Yep.
And then you get an Ellie boss fight.
Yeah, dude.
Which
was nuts.
I was like, no. I literally, when I first played it, I was like, I'm not doing this.
I wanted to throw my controller.
I let Ellie kill me like 3 times to see if there was like
a
no violence solution or something.
'Cause you don't want to.
And then no, you absolutely have to.
Yep.
And
so happy to see that she doesn't kill them.
Abby wins the fucking fight. Dude.
Yeah. Yep.
And she's about to kill Dina. And Ellie yells out that she's pregnant.
Yep.
And Abby like takes a minute, and then she's like, you killed my pregnant friend.
Yeah.
And she like is about to do it.
Yeah.
And then that kid shows up and is like, Abby,
yeah,
don't. And they just leave. They let Ellie go.
Which is nuts.
And
if I see you ever again, I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Ellie goes home with Dina. And
I was like, "Is this it?" Like when I was playing, I was texting.
I know,
you
literally.
in real
I was
time.
like, okay, we're at the end of the game. That's it.
No.
And no, it
Whole nother
continues.
area.
It continues. It goes. You get a little like post climax stuff where they're living on this farm house that they have, her and Dina.
Yeah.
And you get a few. It kind of goes on for a minute.
Yeah.
And
kind of a story break.
I feel like that's it. It works really well because it kind of helps you kind of feel the monotony of
Ellie's
this life,
Yeah.
and Ellie just can't let it go.
And she's still seeing the image in her mind. And then of course, good old Tommy's alive.
Tommy's
still.
alive, and he shows up.
He's like
she's trying so hard to give it up.
I know. He's
And
like, "I
Tommy
found
shows
Abby."
up, and he's like, I found her. I got her. I know where she's at. I'd go, but I can't.
Yeah.
And Dina
He pretty
kicks
much
him out.
yeah, he guilts Ellie into it. He's like
He's like, she killed Joel.
yeah, he really presses into her on it. So
And
we get this sequence where Ellie gives in.
Ellie gives in.
To her
She
revenge.
leaves in the middle of the night.
Yep.
Has a conversation, like final conversation with Dina. Dina's
That
like, if
hurt.
you go, I might not be here when you get back.
That's yeah.
And she goes.
She
She
left.
goes all the way to fucking California.
Yep. She left everything that she had. And you know what we find California is kind of like a slave.
Dude, it's like
There's
bad.
a slave system going on down there. A bunch of
They're all insane.
It's crazy. And you figure out, you finally get to the end of the game, and Abby's tied up.
She's
on
been
this post.
captured. She's being crucified, like in the water almost.
Pretty much, yeah. They're held up on these spikes, and the kid's not there with her.
No, the kid is. The kid is tied up too.
He is.
Yeah,
Oh my
because
God, I totally forgot about that.
Because Ellie lets Abby down,
Yeah.
and they like stare at each other for a minute, and then Abby walks away to go free the kid.
Also, Abby's completely transformed in this. She's skinny
just
to
gaunt.
the bone.
Yeah.
Her hair's short and cut down.
She frees the kid, and then they go to walk away, and Ellie's like, she's about to let him walk away, and then one more time,
Yeah.
she opens her eyes, and you just see Joel's caved in head.
Yep.
And she's just like, no, I can't let you leave. And Abby's like, I'm not fighting you.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
Right.
And Ellie just says, no, you are. Because if you don't, I'm going to kill him.
That was fucked up, man. Yeah. Like, who's the villain now? You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
literally,
Like,
that's what I'm talking about. Like, you get to, she literally just nosedives into this revenge hole.
Right.
And Abby's like, all right, you want to do this? Let's do this.
Yep.
And they machete fight, I think.
Machete fight. Tosses the machete. Is it a fist fight?
I think it is a fist fight. Or maybe I think one of them starts out with a weapon, but then it gets knocked away.
Ellie
or
might
something.
have her knife.
Yeah, I
at
think
the
that's what it
beginning
is.
of it.
I think that's what it is.
It'd be
Ellie
funny
has her
as fuck
knife.
if they had a machete
and
fight.
because she cuts her down, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, Abby ends up knocking the knife out of her hands or whatever, and then they end up fist fighting, and
She ends up getting Abby, like, choking her.
Ellie wins the
Yeah.
fight. She's got her like holding her underground or underwater,
Yeah.
drowning her and choking her as the kid is like screaming
Yeah.
to like let her go. And you can like it happened like it's a long choking segment.
It's crazy.
And
yeah.
you're just like, okay, this is it. She's gonna die. And then one final glimpse into the life of Joel. She opens her eyes and she sees Joel sitting there on like the front porch of his house.
Yeah.
Playing guitar.
Dude.
Like warm lighting.
Yeah.
It's just like
it's a beautiful
it's like a safe memory, like a memory of home for her.
Oh.
Of Joel how he used to be.
Yeah.
And it takes Ellie out of it. She lets go. And she lets him leave.
Yep. And that's another point where I think people were like, well, what was this whole game for? It's about the story,
It's about
dude.
her dealing with her trauma, man.
Straight up.
It's a trauma story disguised as 9 different revenge tales.
Pretty much, dude. And you know what? She goes back to the house.
She goes back
Dina's
home.
gone. She
Dina's
lost
gone.
everything because she rolled those dice.
She
and
even
the worst part.
And yeah, during the fight with Abby,
Yeah.
Abby bites off one of her fingers.
Maybe a couple of them. Because at the end, the last thing she picks up is Joel's guitar.
And she goes to try to play the song Joel wrote for her. And she literally can't because she doesn't have the fingers to play it.
And it's just that final note that's like, what was it for? This is what happens when you do that, when you go down that path.
Yeah.
These are the real consequences.
Yeah. Just so heavy. And then
I
she
can't- yeah.
leaves the house and goes on her own way.
I can't sum up enough how just effective that is.
No, dude,
on
that
so many different levels.
like seriously, when I finished that game, I was just like, I mean, I cried multiple times during the course of this game.
straight up, dude. It's an emotional fucking roller coaster.
It had me feeling multiple types of ways.
Yeah. No, it's I stand by that's one of the most effective revenge tales in the past at least 10 years.
Most certainly. Dude.
It really stuck with me, and to this day it sticks with me. When we talked about revenge lists, that was on there for sure. And I was like, once I started to look at how much goes into it, I was like, it's got to be my number one.
We're definitely gonna have to do like a full Last of Us episode once
Yeah.
the HBO series comes out.
Oh, that'd be sick. Yeah, good idea. Good idea. So that's our top 5 revenge films. Well, revenge stories.
Yeah, just not just films.
Yeah. I think you had a good list, man. I like it.
I really enjoyed your list.
Thank you.
I was very surprised to see the Django listing on there.
Django. Yeah, baby.
Pleasantly a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one.
Yeah, dude. What was your number 1?
My number 1 was Kill Bill Volume 2.
Oh, so what was your number 5?
Oh, my number 5 was God of War.
That I really like. That was a really good one you pulled out of your
It was
hat
pretty
there.
unique, right?
Yeah, I like that a lot. So we've told you our favorite. Fucking tell us your favorite,
Yeah.
man.
Tell
Hit us up.
Yeah, tell us in the comments or email us or
storyworkspodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up in the YouTube comment sections. Let's have a conversation, guys. Revenge tales are fucking sick. Let's talk about them. Until next time, I'm Zach.
I'm Andrew. Hull.
This was the Storyworks Podcast. See you next time.
Sayonara.